so hard to be vulnerable. Oh my gosh, like it is so hard. Especially for those of us that came from backgrounds where, you just always have to have your guard up. You always got to be on your P's and Q's, and you could just never let your guard down. It's like sometimes, you know, I, when you let your guard down, and then that's the moment that you find out, like, oh my gosh, this happened and that happened. I should have never done that. And sometimes when that happens, it can make us like very calloused, and it can make us very hardened and very scared and fearful of love and intimacy. Maybe this time, where everyone is saying, I'm okay being single, I don't need anybody, maybe this is actually good. Maybe this will be the time where people will actually have a moment to reflect and to actually spend time with themselves and really ask themselves the hard questions and really get to the nitty gritty. So, hopefully, when we do enter the phase of society where everyone is like, oh, yeah, I want to be loving, and I'm out here and looking for someone, and I found my person, maybe that will come like, after like the dark ages. Like the dark ages is now, or maybe like we're going into that. So maybe like, the other side of that is everyone has worked on their shadows. Everyone is, doing the inner work so that we can, really be in a new space with relationships moving forward. It's just that into me I see, right? Into me I see. So intimacy is getting to know yourself on a deeper level. Okay, likes, dislikes, wants, needs. Um, yeah, I mean, I think it's just that. Let's just keep it simple. Wants, needs, likes, and dislikes. Um, and really like just standing on that and not having to compromise those things just to accommodate someone else. Is actually aligning with someone that kind of complements your likes and dislikes, your needs and your wants. And, you know, I think that's when we have to compromise those things, and something that we really don't dislike, and then we get with someone because we like them, and we're lonely and we just want love and we just want to feel that space. We kind of let them in, even though we dislike um a very strong aspect of something that they bring, and we kind of just throw that to the side just to maintain the relationship. And then eventually over time the relationship gets very strained, and you may even build resentment in that aspect because you compromised your boundaries, you compromised something that was very dear to you. And so a long time away, singlehood allows you to go into yourself, allows you to go into, this intimacy aspect of yourself, of what do you see within yourself, and what would you like to see in your partner, um, and to really stand on that, and I think that is when we really think really deeply about these needs and these wants. So differentiating your wants from your needs, like the essentials from the non-essentials. Like I have to have a partner that is going to love cooking just as much as I love to cook. I have to have a partner that enjoys driving just as much as I enjoy driving sometimes. So it could kind of be like a shared responsibility. And so it's just kind of like the wants is, I want him to be 6'5". Okay, he doesn't necessarily have to be 6'5". 6'5" is actually a little too tall for me because I'm only like 5. So I really don't want somebody like my height because I feel like that's too short. You know what I'm saying? Like I like the kind of like tall, like you have to be taller than me by like a couple more inches than most. Okay? Like I don't think we should be like eye level. And that's just personal preference for me. Everybody, but it's also deeper, like core values too. Like I want a partner that is emotionally intelligent, that knows how they feel and can explain. You know how to meet each other with understanding. So this is intimacy. Intimacy is not just, you know, sex. It's just not. That is a part. But the intimacy outside of the bedroom is what's going to amplify and build the intimacy in the bedroom. Okay? And the intimacy is really just getting to know yourself on a deeper and more intimate level, your likes and dislikes, and also like your likes and dislikes in a very sensual way. Like, I like to be caressed, I like to be lotioned or oiled up. I like, I like massages. So you would find someone that likes giving massages or doesn't mind doing that, so that is the compatibility part of it, not just the chemistry aspect. Looks like, oh, we both like to be in intimacy in the bedroom, right? And I'm gonna just hurry up and give you a massage right quick. You know what I'm saying? So I can get to the good part. And that is more so chemistry. It's not really compatibility. Compatibility is, I brought these stones, because I think it would be cool for us to, really dive into the massage aspect of it. Or, I've been looking up massage techniques and I want to try this. And it's not just you bringing this to the table, like your partner also brings things to the table as well. Okay, so that is the compatibility portion. The chemistry is just, yeah, that's what you want to do. All right, let's get this done real quick, and then throw those rocks to the side. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't need those rocks. Yeah, so I think that this time alone, this time away from everyone, just gives us time to really like look into ourselves and really see what this really means for ourselves. And so when we do get with a partner, we're able to build true intimacy, true compatibility outside of chemistry. Chemistry is great. Chemistry is definitely something that we need as well, but the whole relationship cannot just be based on chemistry. I'd rather for my whole relationship to be based on a compatibility versus chemistry. I mean, chemistry is good, but compatibility is more important. And it's that sometimes, things are seasonal, even though we want things to last forever. But sometimes things are seasonal. And that's why we have to learn to hone certain aspects of our lives, by ourselves. Like we can't be in a way codependent on someone else to bring this intimacy into our life. We have to cultivate that intimacy within ourselves so that we're bringing something to the table and our partner is also bringing that to the table as well. And because we've done the inner work, we're able to see that I've done this work and this is where I am. And my partner has done his work and this is where he is. Like you can see that. I can see into me and I can see into you. And your partner is like, I can see into me and I can see into you. And yes, it sounds like, oh, it's just a perfect world. But I honestly feel like it's possible. And I feel like that's where we have to be. We have to keep hope alive. Okay? So we're going to keep hope alive. And we are going to work on the intimacy for ourselves before we seek it in another. And sometimes this may call us to be abstinent for a portion of time. Just a little bit of time. Just a little bit. To have increments of abstinence is not a bad thing, okay? I'm telling you, it's really not a bad thing. Especially, I can't really speak for men, but as a woman, to have increments of abstinence is really, really good because it allows you to have clarity. It is a cleansing time for your spirit, for your mind, and to just really hone into yourself and to feel your energy, to feel, your thoughts, and to really go deep within. And also to take charge of your own sensuality in a lot of aspects, to learn like, this is what I like. This is what, I need. Because, there are some women that have a hard time expressing what they need in a sensual matter with their partner. And so when you take time away, you're able to, get in tune with your sensuality, with, you know, those needs and with those wants. And so you can articulate that to your partner. Okay. So times of abstinence is well worth it. Okay. I like to do you know, periodic when I was partnered. Well, I don't even know if I was partnered, but that's another story. I enjoyed doing, you know, like months away, you know. I would do a month away. And granted, I do give him credit because, you know, he was understanding about this. I'm just like, hey, I kind of need a, you know, just a little break right now. And I knew that I needed that within myself. Like I needed to just like be detached in a way, just hone in on my, you know, my spirituality, what I feel, what I think, just be in my energy. And you know, it's just something really special about that time for me. And you know, he was really respectful of that. You and your partner have to come to an understanding with that if you are partnered. But if you are single, then, you know, I don't know if you're just out here doing random hookups or not, but just take a month off. Or maybe take a couple days, or maybe take a week, you know, outside of your period. Like take an extra week. Well, you know, that week was this after your period. You know what I'm saying? You be like a werewolf howling at the moon, like scratching, like, oh my gosh. Maybe after that week. Because sometimes it's hard getting through that week. But after that week, yeah. So, yeah, that's just my 2 cents. So, I think that, you know, even though right now the relationship between men and women, especially on the internet, I don't really know how it is. And, you know, usually I have pleasant encounters with men when I, you know, come across them in real life. And it's not so much like arguing, bickering back and forth. I mean, sometimes we do have like little friendly debates about it, but you know, nothing uh you know, too much, because at the same time I'm not getting myself out of character trying to prove anything to anybody. So, you know, you want to argue, go argue with your edges, like go argue with your haircut. Like, I don't know, go argue with something. You're not going to argue with me. So, yeah. But anyhow, I have faith in humanity. I think that maybe we're just a part just to come together, you know, eventually in the long run. So remember, you are worthy and you are valuable. Okay? Until next time.